This is my 16.3 coaching session review, and this will be followed by a development plan about how to improve on my weaknesses. So first of all, to look at the aims and objectives of the session and how I thought these worked within the session and how actually successful they were. So the first aim was to improve the participants' ability to hit accurate batting shots, which allowed them to hit targets and aim shots. And this was mixed with the objective, which was to be able to produce accurate shots in a game situation that would hit the target around 3 times in the controlled game that we played, with the targets available to be hit and extra points being awarded for this. I thought this worked quite well. I thought this aim was met by a lot of the participants. They through the previous drills that we had done, they were able to convey this this ability to hit the shots accurately. Although maybe some did struggle with the hitting through the barrier and the targets, and they could have perhaps needed a little bit longer to work on their ability to hit the target, although perhaps only maybe the stronger ability students in the group were able to do this. So maybe next time looking at an ability, a way of progressing the ones that perhaps aren't as high ability to be able to hit those targets within the game situation. The second target was to learn the basic techniques for long barrier, and to be able to produce the long barrier technique at least 5 times when fielding in a game situation. I don't feel this aim or objective worked as well as it could have. A lot of the participants soon forgot about this once in the game situation, and it didn't perhaps work as well as would have liked. Maybe this was because it was something that was looked at earlier in the session, and there wasn't any rewards point-wise given out for it. So maybe a little bit more emphasis on trying to use that long barrier fielding style, and giving them some sort of initiative to go out and produce the long barrier fielding technique. Maybe it was also because it was slightly hard for some of them to grasp, which meant that they probably weren't as confident as using it as they could have been. The third aim and objective was to learn the basics of the batting technique, and to be able to repeat this in a game situation, and to produce a drive shot at least 3 times during the controlled game. The actual technique was something that they used really well. They grasped it quite quick from the demo and the drill that we did based around this, and the batting shot, they were trying to adopt that style. And that aim I feel was met a lot more than perhaps the other aims were. And finally, to be able to produce an accurate throw in the game. This one perhaps was a little bit more difficult to tell. Some of them maybe got a little bit overexcited during the game situation, and some of their throws weren't as accurate as they could have been. And perhaps the drill that was working on the throwing accuracy wasn't perhaps as efficient at getting this point through as it could have been. So moving on, this is my risk assessment, my warm-up plan, my main activity, another one of my main activities, my condition game, my cooldown, and the end of the session. And these are back on to my aims. So moving on to my session SWOT analysis. So quickly to just look over my aims, my strengths. It was portrayed back to me that the organisation and planning was good. I think we were really prepared for them before the session, and we were ready for when they came out. Use of space and equipment and facilities was another strength. Yet again, this kind of interacts with the planning aspect of it. We very much used the most of our surroundings and our facilities, ensuring that everything was spread out as much as it could have done. Then delivery, I delivered with a lot of enthusiasm and was able to really convey that through to the group. So this gave them a little bit more energy, a little bit more excitement during the game. Now, moving on to my weaknesses. The progression through the session of skills and techniques. So just ensuring that there is a increase in the ability of the individuals and the participants from the start of the session to where we actually end up with the different skills and techniques that we're conveying through the session. After this, there was another weakness was non-verbal communication. Perhaps this wasn't as strong as it could have been. The demonstrations were perhaps ineffective, didn't work as well as they could have. Maybe there was a bit of a lack of non-verbal communication. Thirdly, group control. We had a fairly difficult group, and perhaps at times we let them enjoy themselves a bit too much and lose focus from what the actual aims of the session was and what they're actually trying to achieve. Right, now moving on to opportunities. So in order to improve these and further my ability within coaching, I'd perhaps look at some of these things to improve my overall abilities as a coach. So planning wise, looking at a community sports leaders course, which is aimed at developing communication, planning and actual leading skills, as well as being able to do this safely and effectively. It's made up of 7 core units. These are planning, leading and evaluating a sports session, developing your leadership skills, leading a session to improve fitness, adapting sports activities, establishing and maintaining a safe sports session, organising and delivering a sports event or competition, and pathways into sports and recreational assessment ongoings, as well as practical assessments which are held throughout the year. So as you can see, this will develop a whole range of my skills, as well as gaining the actual ability to deliver a session. It also helps me plan and work out what is needed in order to produce sessions that everyone can have fun at and enjoy, as well as being safe. And there are 2 ways in which this course is assessed overall, and these are me and someone else would have to successfully run a session of a sporting activity of my choice and also complete 10 hours of voluntary leadership. So this would really help with, as you're working in the community with different types of people, that would really help my group control aspect, as you're gaining experience with all different types of people and what these different types of people need individually and how to deal with their individual needs. The second opportunity that could be available is a sports specific level 1 course. So as I did cricket for my when I did my session, I could maybe look at doing a cricketing module. This involves 4 different modules, which is introduced to coaching, using games to promote learning, developing skills and techniques, and using group coaching. The total cost of this cricket level 1 course is £50, and this will just gain me some of the basics of the cricket coaching abilities that I will need in order to convey a higher ability sessions, and one that really does allow me to start with people that only know maybe not even the basics, and work with them to be able to grow their abilities. And this maybe will help the weakness of progressing through a short skills session, so ensuring that the weaknesses that were there at the beginning are not there towards the end. And then finally, a higher sports leader course. Similarly to the community sports leader, a higher sports leader course also includes 6 units. Unit 1's developing leadership skills. Unit 2's plan and evaluate a sport physical activity event. Lead safe sport physical activity sessions is Unit 3. Unit 4, plan, lead and evaluate a sports session for children. And then 5 is planning a session for, in the sessions in the community. And then 6 is plan, lead and evaluate a session for disabled people. So this will give me, again, a wide range of people to work with. It may look at perhaps slightly more emphasis on my abilities as a coach rather than the community sports leader course, and will just involve me perhaps gaining a little bit more experience as I'm working with a lot of other people, and it's perhaps a lot more starting from completely nothing, whereas maybe you get a bit more help with the community sports leaders course. And this course enables a successful candidate to lead unsupervised sessions in the future for recreational activities and sport. So obviously I'll then be able to coach on mine. Another opportunity is work experience. So this will allow for me to gain experience maybe in primary school sports groups with similar people to who I was working with in my session, but it will just give me that ability to understand their behaviours a bit more and the different behaviours you may see, and will just really gain that that experience that will be able to see me produce better sessions than perhaps was seen before. Public speaking courses, so this would just perhaps ensure that I speak clearly and I'm able to convey details and instructions to the highest abilities to ensure that everyone understands what's needed. However, there are some threats that could affect these opportunities, and these are that the community sports leader at a cost of £150 could be too expensive for me potentially. Of course, there are probably alternative courses that might look be better and cheaper maybes, but obviously the community sport leader one is really a top course to do that would really help. And also not being able to go to somewhere that offers the course, so maybe there's nowhere near that offers the community sports leader course or higher sports leader course, or maybe even the cricket course anywhere near. And then finally, not actually being able to do a work experience due to being needed to be BDS checked. Of course, when you're working with younger children and maybe younger adults, it's important that where you're going and the work experience that you may be doing, they've properly checked you out, because and that you may need to have some sort of some sort of certificate or something to say that you are sort of all right to work in that place, and they aren't going to put anyone at risk by putting you there. So just that need for DBS maybe needs to be something that I consider before looking to do work experience.